All right, and we
Sweet.
are back, folks. We apologize for those technical difficulties. It looks like Facebook caused an issue with our stream, but we are back live on YouTube. So we are back in this one. Christopher Howe running first. Cody Sanderson, though, making his way up to second. Preston Shepard has now dropped back to third.
Cody Sanderson's been up there giving him a run for his money. He came out of nowhere, I feel like.
Yep, that 5 car is always fast, though.
That is true.
So Cody Sanderson now to the lead. Caution is out.
Caution.
Looks like Travis Neamon and Tanner Witt caught up in this. Neamon in that 20 car.
Ooh.
Looks like that was the 83 of Jordan Stencil just coming up and getting into Neamon.
And that just sent the 20 right across. What is that, the 21, this nose?
That's what it looked like. A tough break for them there.
The 24. Oh, and a big hit for the 17 afterwards.
All right, and yes, we are back, Westland. Once again, we apologize. It appears that there was an issue with Facebook's broadcast, shut down the entire thing, but we are back live here on lap 78, now under caution for the 6th time tonight. Looks like pit stops have begun. Wesley Lynch, Michael Boyd, Hunter Geyer, Jonathan Wiley, Sean Merriman, and Connor Price making their way down pit road.
We're definitely seeing a lot of different strategies play out.
I tell you what, though, the one that is whose strategy is working for him is that 87 of Christopher Howe.
He's got that going great for him.
Yes,
Playing it just right, it looks like.
Yes, he does. But keep an eye on that 5 of Cody Sanderson, up 11 positions now. He was challenging Howe for the lead. We're going to see if he can get this pass done once they go back green flag racing.
He's been a rocket ship since that last restart.
Yes, he has. Preston Shepard, though, falling back. He opened up that gap at the beginning of that last run, started to fall off, and it looks like some attrition has taken place on those tires.
It does. You might have used up a little too much, a little too soon.
Yep, he should still have one set to make it to the end here. Jake Norris now entering the chat. Rooting for some racing. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
We've got Seth LaCroix and Robbie Good. Started right up close to each other. Made it back up here together.
That could be interesting, though. We saw their two teams going at each other in the chat right before the stream died. But we're back racing. Christopher Howe jumping out to an early lead. Preston Shepard trying to get a run there on the bottom to the inside of Cody Sanderson. Shepard did have a chance to cool off those tires. Looks like we almost had some trouble back in the pack there.
Ooh, we got one spinning down the inside.
That was Jonathan Wiley.
Oh, did he save it?
It does appear Wiley is going to save it. We're going to stay green, but Craig Peterson, we saw him out of shape on that restart. I want to go back, take a look at what happened there with Craig Peterson on that restart.
Oh, and another caution.
Caution is out. Looks like Steven Linger and Chris Jones caught up in this. I believe those are both lap down cars. We're going to head back, take a look, see what happened here. Linger in that 91.
Yeah.
Yep, Chris Jones just getting loose there with his slick track, and he's going to collect Linger. We're going to go back trying.
Slick track's really taking a toll. Sorry.
Yes, it is. We're going to go back, try and take a look, see what happened here at the beginning of this one. This run. Saw Craig Peterson and I believe it might have been Cameron Cresson maybe getting together. Correction, it looks like Jonathan Wiley and Craig Peterson got together, getting out of shape, and Wiley just gets on the brakes and locks him up and sends his car sideways through the corner. So your leader is still Christopher Howe, Cody Sanderson in second, Seth LaCroix in third, Preston Shepard in fourth, Robbie Good in fifth, Jordan Stencil back there in sixth, Alan Martin in seventh, Joshua Hyatt in eighth, Wesley Lynch in ninth, and Sean Merriman rounding out your top 10. All right, Dakota Dennis entering the chat. What is up, Dakota? We are looking forward to seeing you here on Wednesday night in the Third Coast Xfinity Series. All right, green flag is back out. Christopher Howe going to take off right back to first. We're going to see if Seth LaCroix can make his way back up to the front there now that he's got the low side. Looks like Cody Sanderson going to hold on to that second position.
It looked like Sanderson might have spun a little bit or didn't quite catch the restart like he wanted to, but he's already back up there.
That five car does have a lot of speed, and he is pressuring that 87 from behind. Now Larry Leviner entering the chat, rooting for Hyatt.
Ooh, we got all sorts of racing.
Yep, I believe that was might have been the 21 of Michael Boyd or the 12 car. Way out of shape there. Going down the straightaway. I believe that might have been Ryan Mack. Move back up to the front of the pack here. Once again, guys, if you were just rejoining us after those technical difficulties, we do apologize. It appears the stream has shut down on Facebook and knocked out the Streamlabs, but we are back bringing you this live racing. Christopher Howe still in charge of this one, but here comes Seth LaCroix, who's now made his way to the inside of that 5-car. Cody Sanderson trying to make his way up to the front. And he may get caught out there 3 wide. So Seth LaCroix now has locked up that second position, trying to close that gap with Christopher Howe. Looking further back in the pack, we see that 24 of Jonathan Wiley, who was involved in an earlier incident, has now made his way back up to 12th, gaining 10 positions from his starting position. Even after that adversity, he's trying to make his way up to the front, and he does have a lot of speed.
Looks like this time Hal isn't really pulling away like he was before. Seth's right up there. So is Shepard. Hanging on.
Caution, caution is out. Looks like Michael Boyd and Jonathan Wiley caught up in this. Go back, take a look, see what happened here. Looks like Alan Martin just making contact with Michael Boyd. Jonathan Wiley gonna lock it up to avoid Boyd, but unfortunately gonna go down, hit the inside line or inside wall.
Oh, big hit too.
Now we're seeing Christopher Howe entering pit road, as well as Robbie Good, Joshua Hyatt, Sean Merriman, Alan Martin, and Craig Peterson. Cameron Crisson and Stephen Linger also going to join him on pit road. So that will send Seth LaCroix to the lead. So Seth LaCroix will get to restart in first place. Preston Shepard, though, will be to his outside. This could be an interesting battle shaping up for the lead. We're going to take a look at the pit stop strategy. LaCroix, Shepard, and Sanderson, well, Stencil all last pitted on lap 67. Wesley Lynch pitting on lap 80.
I think he's in a pretty good spot right here.
What, Wesley Lynch there?
Yeah, I think pitting only about 16 laps ago might stretch him a little longer. I'm not quite sure how many sets of tires they've got, but might be a good little balance.
Yeah, and
for a green run if they get one.
Yep, it is 3 sets of tires for these drivers. So, they have the set on the car and then 2 extra sets. So they've got to make them last through this one. And based on what we've seen, that seemed to be something that Seth LaCroix was struggling with this. Christopher Howe back there in 12th now. After leading the race off pit road, I would expect to see him to make his way back up to the front as this race gets into its closing laps. As they are doubled up, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Let's see how those older tires hang out for a little while. I'm ready for it.
I tell you what, last time we saw these guys you know, the front cars on older tires, they were able to hang on to their positions as long as they didn't have damage. So Seth LaCroix might be in the position he wants to be in now that he will have that clean air. Green flag is out. LaCroix taking off there.
Flying off that restart.
Yep. Here comes that 5 of Cody Sanderson, though, already challenging Preston Shepard.
That thing's hugging that yellow line perfect.
Yep, we saw Preston Shepard getting into the outside wall there. Colton Goulson wanting Terrell Wheeler to make a move here. Terrell Wheeler up 16 positions now to 8th. I believe that is the first time he's cracked the top 10 tonight.
I believe so.
All right, and a slight blink out on our end. The internet issues appear to be continuing. We do apologize for the earlier internet issues. We are trying to get them straightened out here at the Rebel Racing Network. Go back to the front of the pack. Preston Shepard has been able to hold on to that second position. Seth LaCroix really working that clean air. As we saw Wesley Lynch jumping out of line, trying to make a move as the 83 of Jordan Stencil has now gotten to the inside of Cody Sanderson, and they're going to use that open dog leg to their advantage. Jordan Stencil now to third.
That 83 really has some speed in it since that last restart.
Yes, he does, and you know, he's got to be careful here, though. He's already been caught up in one major incident. He's had to use that quick repair. So don't want to push it too hard, and looks like we have a problem back in the pack for Travis Neamon. Go back, see what happened here with that 20 car. Out there all by himself, and he just gets loose coming across the line. Tough break for Neamon. Caution is out.
Oh, a caution. I didn't see that one.
We are still waiting for confirmation from our scoring to even find out who was involved in that. We're not seeing any slow cars on the track.
I'm not either.
Dawson, are you seeing anything on your end over there?
I haven't caught anything. I'm looking. I'm not finding nothing.
All right, and with that, Seth LaCroix going to lead the field down pit road. Christopher Howe looks like he's going to stay out. Sean Merriman staying out as well. Ryan Mack yet to come down pit road. Craig Peterson, Joshua Hyatt, Colton Kinney, all going to stay out. Neamon, we appreciate it, Hunter. Travis Neamon. Once again, I do apologize if I have butchered your name throughout the season. I have a bunch of new names to learn with the way the National Outlaw Racing Association leagues have grown. So it looks like Seth LaCroix going to take 2 tires here and lose some ground here on pit road. But a big shakeup up front. Christopher Howe is going to go back to the lead. Sean Merriman in second. Ryan Mack in third. Ryan Mack has been caught up in some incidents here. Craig Peterson running fourth. Joshua Hyatt rounding out your top 5.
I think I've just caught what happened for that caution. Trying to figure out the 2 cars right now. Looks like 2 got into each other towards the back of the pack, and we just had a spin.
All right.
It looked like that's what brought it out.
Which cars were that? Were those?
I'm hunting right now. We're about to find out. It's acted so weird. I never had that pop up. And let's see.
All right, the pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. James Ortiz entering the chat room for Seth. Driver that 29 car. Roy having to start back in the pack here. We're going to see if he can make his way back up to the front.
It was the 81 and the 64 got together.
All right, so it looks like Thomas Adams involved in that one. As well as Cameron Cresson. We're going to see if we can get an opportunity to go back and see what happened there. Christopher Howe taking off on that restart. Ryan Mack getting a good run on the inside. He's going to work his way by that 18 of Sean Merriman. Caution back in the pack. Looks like Wesley Lynch was caught up in that, as well as Terrell Wheeler, Chris Jones, Stephen Linger, and Jonathan Wiley. Go back, take a look, see what happened here. It looks like we may have had 2 incidents there.
I was just wondering the same thing.
So we saw Jonathan Wiley and Terrell Wheeler come together. They are both teammates. And then we saw Wesley Lynch sideways. Looked like he might have been on the hood of another car. And there it is. Seth LaCroix getting caught up in that as well.
From 4 wide. I think they just got squeezed together. 33 gets squeezed across the 77's nose. Into the 29's car. Yes, that's unfortunate. And then they just stack up after that.
Very unfortunate, and it looks like things are getting ready to heat up here. Only 40 laps to go. We're going to go back, try and figure out what happened in that earlier caution.
I think it was on lap 105.
It looks like Thomas Adams just got into that 81. Thomas Adams sliding up the track, getting in the 81 of Cameron Cresson to bring out that earlier caution. We apologize it took us so long to figure out what happened there.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Want to show up for us. We got it now.
All right, and we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break before we go back green flag race.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. The pace car has dived off. Christopher Howe leading him to the green flag. Sean Merriman now making his way out in second. So Christopher Howe in first, Sean Merriman in second, Ryan Mack in third. Keep an eye on this 18 of Sean Merriman. He's been known for his aggressive pit strategies, but they have paid off in the past. The cars on the same pit rotation as him may be sitting in a good seat as this race winds down. Now only 35 laps to go.
Things are getting a lot more intense here. We got a lot more double file up behind them, but they're just pulling away again.
Those top two cars working that clean air. We look further back in the pack, we see 3, 4 wide.
I think the 5 ducked down to the pits on that restart, and he just came out ahead of the leaders, right ahead of them.
Yep, we are showing Cody Sanderson entering the pit lane at lap 113. Not what he wanted to see here. You see some aggressive moves by that 77 of Robbie Good. He is now up to third. A lot of cars making contact with the outside wall as they come off that turn. They are pushing these cars hard as time is winding down. Christopher Howe and Sean Merriman absolutely pulling away with it as they come around to that lap traffic of Cody Sanderson. Sanderson still being shown as on the lead lap for the time being. Sanderson really needs caution here to keep from going a lap down.
Barely holding on. He's making it work.
Looking further back in the pack, that 29 of Seth McCoy gaining some ground. He restarted 10th, now up to 7th. Getting ready to go to work on that 21 of Michael Boyd.
Howe's just pulling away again.
Yes, he is now out to a second gap between Christopher Howe and Sean Merriman.
He's done a great job today.
Howe very dominant through this one. leading 53 laps of this 150 lap race. Only 29 left to go. If he can lead these last 29, he will have led over half the race.
It's an impressive run. Adding some more gap to him. Looks like Shepard's making his way up there too. They're catching up to Sean Merriman. He's fell back a little bit.
Yep, Preston Shepard now to the outside of Robbie Good. He's been another one to watch here. I tell you what, with that gap though, Christopher Howe, I don't think they're done wrecking here just yet.
I agree. I think things are heating up quite a bit. And with Howe, that's what he is not hoping for right now. He's hoping he can manage that, what he's got, keep the gap as far as he can until the end. Hoping for no cautions, but things are getting pretty wild out here. They're pushing.
Yep, they are pushing. Talking about pushing, that 29 of Seth LaCroix continuing to push. He is now battling for 5th with Jordan Stencil. He's found some speed late in this run. We get a late race caution. I would not count him out of this one just yet.
Absolutely. He's been giving it all it's got. Trying to get it up there. Move after move. See if he can keep it going.
I tell you what, after, seeing some of the drama going down, even in the chat between Apex Racing and Keystone, that rivalry brewing, Seth does not want to let a Keystone driver win this race.
I think that's one of the things on his mind right now. I wouldn't doubt it. He's got to do everything he can to get up there and hope that it works out. But Howe's got a good gap on him still.
Now down to just 23 laps to go. Christopher Howe still trying to find a way by that 5 of Cody Sanderson. Sanderson hanging on for dear life. Trying to stay on this lead lap.
I wonder what it was that made him have to pit. Because it makes you wonder, did he get tires? And if so, this 87's kept up with some new tires. That makes me think maybe damage, but
yeah,
it's
I think
impressive either way.
Yep, I think that 5 was probably getting some damage worked on there.
I agree.
We just saw Colton Kinney and Thomas Adams on pit lane as well. Check back in the pack with that 29 of Seth LaCroix. He has completed that pass for 5th. Michael Boyd dropping back, or I'm sorry, Jordan Stencil dropping back to 8th there. But LaCroix has his sights set on Sean Merriman now. Now down to 19 laps to go. Most of these guys have gotten it sorted out and are running single file. Merriman and LaCroix have to work their way through lap traffic. We just saw them go by the 64 of Thomas Adams. Now they are coming up on the 8 of Colton Kinney. Christopher Howe, though, he jumped out to about a 1.5 second gap, and it has not really gained any more ground. We're going to look and see last lap times. Alan Shepard running almost identical lap times to each other. Shepard is finding a little bit of speed here. I do think that 5 of Cody Sanderson is holding Christopher Howe up, dirtying up that air, and not allowing him to continue to pull away from Preston Shepard.
Yeah, I think him being there might end up being a pretty big factor here in a few laps. If Shepard could keep the speed up, he might be able to get to him with him in front of him. The 5 in front of the 87.
Yep, only 15 laps to go to close this gap, though. Shepard was faster by a 1/10 of a second there, so it is possible. We're going to see if he has enough time to complete the pass, though. James Ortiz saying the 77 that keeps kissing that wall. Howe now alongside Cody Sanderson. He's going to get around him and clear that 5 car. This is his opportunity to pull away here. I tell you what, Cody Sanderson, being the first car a lap down, he would get that lucky dog, but that would mean he would have to start from the tail end of the longest line. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sanderson start racing this leader here.
I agree. That's one of those spots you want just in case, and you're hoping a caution comes out. It's like, get you out and fighting it.
Yep, that could be the difference on a lot of positions here if we do get a late race caution. And looking at the last lap times, Preston Shepard's still quicker than Howe. I don't know if he has enough time to get to him. 12 laps to go, about a second gap between the two. Howe's getting ready, or has that clean air.
Yeah, I think that was a big move for Howe to get around him. Shepard is faster, but I don't know if he's got quite enough by the end green to actually get up to him. But I know Shepard's got to be hoping for a caution just to get back up there and race him forward again.
Yep, if I'm that 5 of Cody Sanderson, seeing Shepard in my mirror, I've got to be thinking about just getting out of his way and trying to let him get alongside that 87. Maybe let those two battle it out, and you might get a chance to get your lap back if we do get a late race caution. Shepard has found that speed. And James Ortiz saying Seth LaCroix is sneaking up. He has just gotten by that 18 of Sean Merriman. Sean Merriman dropping 2 positions back to 6th. Wesley Lynch also moved up. Now down to 9 laps to go. This gap is closing between Shepard and Howe. As we watch timeline down, Al has found a little bit of speed. As he tries to work his way around the 43 of Terrell Wheeler.
Now Shepard's got to figure out a way to get around the 5 car in front of him. Enough to do as much as he can to at least get to the 87.
Yep, and
he's gotten close enough. I think it's possible. He might be able to pull it off.
It is possible, but he needs that 5 to get out of his way. And he needed that to happen about 2 laps ago.
Now that dirty air is just messing with him.
Yep, we saw Preston Shepard getting loose there, and that might be, that might be where he loses this one unless we get a caution. Now only 5 laps to go. Christopher Howe still in control of this one. A dominant showing here. 77 laps led. Only 5 to go.
Oh, a car in the wall. A lab car in front of him gets in the wall.
Yep, that is
That's
the
scary.
81 of Cameron Cresson. He is still up there. That might bring out the caution. Let's see if he can get it straight.
He's just about stopped up in there in the wall.
He's got some major issues. He's going to bring it down low.
Oh, we got somebody spinning
Caution.
right before turn 1.
So Cameron Cresson going to jump to the pits here. But Jordan Stencil going around. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened with that 83. Looks like when he went to go through that open dog leg, he just hit it wrong and loses control of that 83. He's sideways. So Cresson not going to bring out the caution here. It is actually Jordan Stencil. And that is going to be big. Yep, that is going to shake things up. Our 11th caution of the night coming out on lap 48. So we will have overtime here. Cody Sanderson, I believe, was in position to get the lucky dog. But that is going to shake things up. We saw Preston Shepard closing that gap. Now this caution's going to reel that 87 of Christopher Howe back in.
This one's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
This is just what he was hoping for.
Yes, it is. And we're going to take a quick commercial break before we go back racing here, folks.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not...
All right, and we are back, folks. We are getting ready to go back racing. Christopher Howe, still your leader. Preston Shepard now in second, just to his outside. We saw Preston Shepard closing fast there. They are doubled up. That pace car is off. This is going to be an exciting finish here.
Lined up for something wild to happen. And I think everybody's going to give it everything they got.
I tell you what, this might not be the last restart we get here tonight.
I got a feeling it won't be.
Yep, Preston Shepard down there real low, right up against Christopher Howe. He does not want to give an inch to that 87 car. Green flag is out. Howe's going to take off. It looks like Shepard got caught sleeping there as Robbie Good's going to get to the inside of him as well. LaCroix staying up high there. And the 12 is going for a ride. Caution. Caution is out.
Another caution.
That's Ryan Mack going for a ride across the straightaway into the inside wall. And we're going to set him back up and do it all over again.
And this is just making the nerves higher and higher for the drivers.
Yep, we're going to go back, see what happened there to that 12. It looks like just some air got taken off that 12 car, and he spins it out coming off the corner. I tell you what, Christopher Howe has got to be hitting that steering wheel right now. You know, he's had this race locked up twice now, it seemed like, only to have it taken away by cautions. He's going to have to hold on for just one more restart. This is the 12th caution of the night, and that came out here on lap 153. I'm sorry, 152.
We'll see. Preston Shepard might have a good chance now after that restart to figure out a better way to get up with him, because Howe's restarts have been great these past few.
Yes, they have, and I think that, you know, Preston Shepard, you know, kind of sees how Howe's going to work this restart. So maybe he can time it just a little bit better to get alongside him.
And that could be all it takes to get that position finally.
So you've seen how Howe likes to do the restart here. If you're sitting in Preston Shepard's seat, are you going to go for broke and try and gas it up at the same point and risk taking that black flag for passing Howe before the line?
I think here early in the season, I would probably play it safe, but do as much as I can to stay right up on him. Like maybe fall back a little bit, try to time it the best you can and get the good restart. But maybe the black flag wouldn't be the best for points this early on. But you never know. A win's a win.
If I'm not mistaken, a win will solidify your spot in the playoffs, though.
That is true. So do you go for it now? You got an opportunity.
Only time will tell. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Honestly, though, I think if I'm in Preston Shepard's seat, I'm going to, I'm going to try and give it a little bit of gas early and hope I don't get caught and go for broke here.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good idea.
But then again, I am a gambling man, and we just got back from Vegas in the Cup Series last night.
That's very true.
All right, green flag is out. Shepard making contact with Robbie Good there.
Good got a great launch there, too.
Yes, he did.
Woo.
So Preston Shepard still holding on to that second spot now.
Oh, he takes him on the inside.
He makes contact with the 77. The 77 is sideways. White flag is out. Preston Shepard back to the lead. Seth LaCroix running second. Sean Merriman in third. Christopher
Out of
Howe
nowhere.
I'm not sure what happened to Christopher Howe. We were watching Shepard there. Here comes Sean Merriman for second.
Oh my.
Sean
Oh,
Merriman
sorry.
losing it. Preston Shepard going to take the win. Merriman's still going to take home second. LaCroix will finish third.
Wow.
What
The 18 on the restart and 1 and 2 was all the way down the apron. And it worked.
Yes, it did. I've got to go back. We got to go back and watch that green-white checker one more time.
Wow.
Preston Shepard and Robbie Good making contact. Robbie Good lost it there. I'm curious to know what happened to that 87. Looks like the 87 just going to go high. He gets caught up on the high side, gets slow. Not sure what happened to him there.
Oh, and he gets a little contact on the 48.
I think the 87 ran out of gas.
Oh, no.
We got to go back one more time and watch Robbie Good. What an exciting finish. So Robbie Good, an excellent save, but he lost a lot of speed, and the pack's going to go by him. He made contact with Stencil there as well as he tries to hold on.
What a finish.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and get set up for our interviews here. We're going to start our interviews with that 29 of Seth LaCroix. Seth, it is Austin and Dawson up in the booth. You got us?
I got you, boys.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
You know, I know you two are happy to see Apex Racing on the podium here tonight, but Seth, that was one of the most exciting finishes that we've seen here on the Rebel Racing Network. Take us through that last restart and what happened there.
Yeah, the 87 was on the first green white checker, said he was out of fuel, didn't pit. So on the second one, you know, I don't blame him for giving it a shot. He was hoping the caution was going to come out and end it. It didn't. So he went high, and then Preston and Robbie just went at it. And I thought I was going to win, to be honest. If Robbie wasn't coming down the track, I had the momentum to pass them both. And he just started to come down, so I had to tap my brakes and steer low and just settle for what I thought was second. But, of course, Mr. Sean Merriman saves a set of tires for the news so fast. But it was a great race. I wish I had been able to practice a little bit more. I was getting killed out of I guess turn 3 coming to the line. Like, it took me the whole race to like kind of understand how to run it better. But the guys up front was such clean racing. It was a lot of fun. I was definitely not the fastest. I'm happy with a third, 2/3 in a row here. So we're doing all right.
All right, we're glad to hear it, and I know Dawson is really glad to hear it. You know, we were watching the chat here tonight, and there was some rivalry before we had an internet issue with Facebook knocking us off air. There was a little bit of rivalry going on in the chat between Apex and Keystone. So it must feel to beat out both the Keystone. Feel good to beat out both the Keystone drivers tonight.
Yeah, I mean they were the 87 was super fast. He stayed out, forever and was pretty damn good on old tires. Robbie was there all night. So it was a good race. Like I said, everyone raced clean, which was great. We had a few incidents last night, and it was nice to have a clean race between the two groups because there's rivalries are great and all, but there's no need to ruin each other's races. Good racing hard is all I can ask for and hope for. So it was a good showing by them, despite whatever the results ended up being. They were definitely fast. So.
Yes, they were. But we're going to let you get out of here and start looking forward to next week. Before we do, anyone you want to thank tonight?
My boys at Apex, man. Both cupping. Arca, poor Omar had a lap one, ruined his race, unfortunately. So that's an unfortunate showing for him. But just such a great group of guys, and really makes the races even that much more enjoyable. Shout out to my parents, and I also want to shout out to Josh's dad. My paint scheme is stomach cancer awareness, and he was dealing with stomach cancer not too long ago, and he won. So, but there's always a risk of it coming back. So, shout out to Josh's dad and good health.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and we are glad to hear that Josh's dad won his battle with stomach cancer, and hopefully it won't be coming back anytime soon.
Alrighty. You guys have a great night.
All right. Thank you, too.
Good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Once again, that was Seth LaCroix coming home in third. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, though, Sean Merriman. Sean, it is Austin and Dawson up in the booth. You got us?
Sir, I got y'all.
All right. Welcome back to the podium, buddy. What an exciting finish to that one. And we were watching your move on that restart, that last restart. Take us through what happened there.
Yeah, I saved my, y'all know me, I saved my tires till the end, so I really needed a caution there about lap 125, 130. Give me about 20 laps to make them do something for me, but had to take them on lap 148, and I think there were like 14 guys on the lead lap or something, so took off from there, got another caution, took off from there again. If I would have had one more lap, for sure I would have got Preston, but I'm not the best Phoenix guy, not the best guy on flat tracks, period, so I take second all day. I think I ran about 5th or 6th all night, so second's a couple spots better. I'll take it.
All right. And that was a very aggressive move on the restart. You rode the apron almost all the way around that first corner.
Corey Heimed it.
Yeah, and you just said you're not the best on flat tracks, so you decided to take it to an even flatter spot on the track and gain a few positions.
True. Yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd start on the outside there, where I could just rip the top, and as soon as it gripped up, just floor it. But unfortunately, got stuck on the bottom both restarts there at the end, so did the best I could with it. I thank Wesley there on that last one. I know I kind of chopped his nose off there at the end, but he cut me some slack and didn't cause a big wreck there on the backstretch. That's not a move I would make any other point in time in the race, but the last green-white checker, I'm on fresh tires. Like, I got to go. I got to do what I got to do. But yeah, I owe him one the next time he finds himself in a similar situation. Definitely cut him some slack.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Before we let you get on out of here, anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, this being Beat Cancer Night, I threw a couple ribbons on my car for my Aunt Linda passed away in 2018 of non-Hodgkin's leukemia, or lymphoma, sorry. And then my Uncle Bucky died in 2020 of liver cancer. I got the lime green lymphoma and dark green liver cancer on the car. Miss those guys a lot. Shout out to my dad, two of his siblings, like probably not watching it 11:15 tonight, but he'll watch it tomorrow. Just want to say love him, of my whole family, but you know, those are his siblings on the car, so definitely want to single him out. Thank my wife, kid, you guys for awesome broadcast, awesome work you do. Terrell and Cody and Jonathan for running NORA, the best series probably the best series I've ever ran in. Um, I love, I have no complaints whatsoever about the way they run this league. So thank those guys and thank everybody for watching.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and we'll be keeping your family in our thoughts and prayers, buddy. But we'll let you get on out of here and move on to our big winner tonight. Once again, thank you, Sean.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. Once again, that was Sean Merriman coming home in second tonight after an aggressive late race move. But we're going to move on to tonight's winner, that 52 of Preston Shepard. Preston, welcome back to the booth, buddy. It seems like you were just here yesterday.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, I mean, Boost calling my name. I'll take it.
All right. I bet it's a little bit more fun being up in the booth tonight after a win than it is up here broadcasting.
Yeah, I'm glad, you know, these ARCA guys can keep a clean race. We had some good long runs. You know, I was good last week on a long run. I didn't have to drive through the field this week, and I kind of think I dominated for the most part.
All right. Well, you did. You were definitely a dominant car. Led 40 laps tonight. But to be honest, the dominant car really appeared to be that Christopher Howe in that 87. I believe he led around 70, 78, 79 laps before running out of gas on that last restart. So,
yeah, I mean, he was on different strategy, but when he had fresh tires, I had old tires, he still couldn't get around. And it kind of bit him in the butt. When he pitted there on that different strategy, I knew we'd keep it green for a long time. He'd probably run out, and he was having to draft a lap card. That was probably the only reason he made it to a green white.
all right. And we were watching you guys before that set of cautions came out at the very end, and it seemed like you were gaining some ground on Howe, but you got stuck behind Cody Sanderson. What was going through your mind all those laps you were stuck behind Sanderson?
I was honestly just going to take second. The dirty air, I couldn't gain really any more ground. I wasn't expecting him to let me by. I think he was on some fresh tires or something. He had good pace, so it wasn't like he needed to let me by. I couldn't gain any ground with some dirty air getting in the corner.
All right. So, now we talked about that. Now I really want to move on to that last restart. Take us through that battle with Robbie Good in the 77 car.
I thought my race was over. Honestly, I kept wicked and slid around there to the top and come back around with the white and had a pretty good gap. And I kind of knew it was over there if I could make it through the next couple turns.
All right. And it did look like you made contact with him there. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, that's Robbie. He's going to dive it in there for the win. He took 2 on one of those last, strategy decisions, and he was pretty fast. Probably just him washing out, taking 2.
All right. Well, there's Preston Shepard's thoughts on that. Preston, we're going to let you get on out of here and start the celebration. Don't party too hard, though, because I need you back in the booth with me next Sunday night. Anyone you want to shout out before we do, though?
Yeah, just commentating the race. Everyone who ran me clean. Shout out to Michael Hill. He pushed the 87 around the finish. That's one of our teammates, along with 13. And the 0, Craig Kraft, couldn't make it tonight, but we got a win for him, so we're happy. We'll take it.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. We'll let you get on out of here and start that celebration.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Once again, that was Preston Shepard taking home the win here tonight. We're going to go through our official race results. Dawson is sitting here with the official results. I'm going to kick it over to you, buddy.
Absolutely. As long as everything's right, which it should be. P1 is Preston Shepard. We got Sean Merriman in second, Seth LaCroix in third, Wesley Lynch fourth, Michael Boyd fifth, Jordan Stencil in sixth, Robbie Good ended up seventh, We got Alex Finney in 8th, Cody Sanderson in 9th, Connor Price 10th, Ethan Straub 11th, Joshua Hyatt in 12th, Terrell Wheeler in 13th, Christopher Howell in 14th, Stephen Linger in 15th, and then we've got Ryan Mack in 16th, Craig Peterson 17th, Colton Kinney in 18th, Omar Rodriguez in 19th, Michael Hill 20th, Thomas Adams in 21st, Cameron Cresong in 22nd, John Anthony in 23rd, Travis Neiman in 24th, Alan Martin in 25th, Jonathan Wiley in 26th, Dave Stinson 27th, Tanner Witt in 28th, Hunter Geyer in 29th, Chris Jones in 30th, and Jackson Sibley in 31st. And that rounds up the whole field.
All right, we appreciate it, Dawson, but we are going to get on out of here. Make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday night for the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series live from Darlington, and then we will be back here on Sunday night at 7:30 for the Cup Series. And they will be at North Wilkesboro next week, and then next Monday night we are headed right back here at 9 o'clock for the return of the ARCA series. They are going to be at Watkins Glen next week. Once again, the first and only road course of the season for 40 laps there. I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Make sure you hit like, follow, subscribe wherever you are watching. Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. If you have not already, go over to Facebook. Check us out on Facebook as well. Like and follow over there. And we will see you back here on Wednesday night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And a special thank you to Dawson Price for joining me in the booth tonight.
Anytime, man. It was fun.
All right. Glad you had fun. And we're glad the viewers had fun. We will see you back here on Wednesday night. Everyone have a good night.